Very interesting story. In a small town on the edge of Colorado, there lived a man named Stephen Walker. Most people didn't really notice him. He worked at a public library, not as a librarian, but as the man who opened the doors every morning, fixed broken chairs, arranged returned books, and quietly cleaned the reading tables before anyone arrived. Stephen never spoke too loud, never complained, never tried to prove anything. To the world, he was just there. But behind that silence was a life shaped by patience, loss, and an unshakable belief that doing the right thing matters, even when no one is watching. Stephen had not always been this quiet. Years ago, he was a construction worker, strong and full of plans. He had a small house, a loving wife named Claire, and a dream of opening a woodworking shop. Then one winter night, everything changed. A drunk driver ran a red light. Claire never made it home. That night didn't just take his wife. It took Ethan's voice, his confidence, and his belief that the world was fair. For months, he barely spoke. For years, he avoided people. The library job wasn't a dream. It was simply a place where silence was acceptable. Every morning, Stephen arrived before sunrise. He helped an old homeless man warm up inside before the staff arrived. He fixed a broken wheelchair ramp without telling anyone. He quietly paid overdue fines for children who couldn't afford them. No one knew. He didn't post about it, didn't expect thanks. He believed something simple. If I can make one corner of the world a little kinder, that's enough. One afternoon, Stephen noticed a boy sitting alone in the far corner of the library. The boy came every day after school, never checked out books, just sat and waited. On the fifth day, Stephen finally asked gently, "Are you waiting for someone?" The boy shook his head. "Yes, I live alone." "My mom works 2 jobs," he said. "Our apartment's loud. This is the only quiet place." Stephen nodded. No advice, no lecture. The next day, Stephen placed an old wooden desk lamp near that corner, fixed it himself. The next week, he added a comfortable chair. Years later, that boy would become a journalist, writing stories that changed lives, and he would remember a quiet man who never spoke too loud, but listened deeply. One winter, a pipe burst in the library basement. Water flooded fast. Ethan rushed in before emergency crews arrived. He shut off the main valve, carried boxes of rare books upstairs, slipped on wet concrete, and broke his arm. When the staff arrived, they were shocked, not by the broken arm, but by the discovery of everything Stephen had been quietly maintaining for years: the fixed shelves, the donated supplies, the unpaid overtime. For the first time, the town noticed. Local news ran a short story: "The quiet man who held the library together." A few weeks later, during a small appreciation ceremony, someone handed Ethan a microphone. He didn't want it, but he took it, and for the first time in years, he spoke. Slowly, softly, but clearly. "I'm not special," he said. "I just believe kindness doesn't need an audience." The room went silent, not because of his volume, but because of his truth. Stephen never became famous, never wrote a book, never went viral, but every day people walked into that library feeling a little safer, a little calmer, without knowing why, and that was his legacy. Because sometimes the people who change the world are not the loudest voices. They are the ones who quietly refuse to let the world become cruel. Final message. You don't need applause to live with purpose. You don't need recognition to matter. Even in silence, your actions speak.